Okay, so our game starts from an intro screen displaying the name of our game, which is Habibi Showdown. We then transition to the fighting stage. Our game is inspired from old school fighting games like Street Fighter 1. As you can see, there are two characters on screen, Ryu and Ken. It's a fighting game. Its input can be controlled through joystick. The goal is to deplete the other player's health bar in order to win. So to do that, you can use the options of punching and kicking. As you can see, after being attacked, the player turn purple, which means they achieve temporary immunity. And once they are in a purple state, their health bar cannot be depleted temporarily. After a player is able to deplete the other player's health bar completely, we transition to the win screen announcing the winner.
Okay, so our major FSM consists of 4 states. The first state is the start screen, and this is you continue being in the start screen unless we send an input that starts the game. So let's say a start button. Everything else goes in. Then we are in a game state which will keep repeating this, keep running its own inner mechanisms until we receive an end flag. What is an end flag? It's when the health goes to 0. Either player 1 health goes to 0, P1 health, or P2 health. If player 1 health goes to 0, that means player 2 has won, which means we are now on player 2's list. And if player 2's health is down, that means player 1 has won. Now this major FSM is a more machine because the output in the screen, whatever we're going to run, depends completely on the state we are in. Everything that happens in our, that is a completely different.
Right, so there are 2 major FSMs that are used for each player. They both have the exact same states. One state is, one FSM is the movement FSM and one is the ROM FSM. Right. The movement FSM includes the logic, and this is determined by a certain flag inputs that we set. So initially the game starts with both players in the disabled state. In the disabled state, the player can only walk and move forward. However, after walking, the player is thrown into the action state in which they are allowed to jump or kick. Right? Once they kick, they are sent back to the disabled state because we don't want them to abuse the kick and the jump. So this controls all of the logic. Right? However, displaying it on the screen is a totally different story and it's actually quite complicated. So we created a wrapper FSM that, given a certain state, right, which is controlled by this, will output the image dimensions and the color diagram, which we then select using a multiplexer and display onto the VGA monitor.
Alright, so the first major challenge that we faced was just including joysticks. Now obviously when you have a fighting game, you need joysticks. So we decided, alright, we're going to have 2 joysticks. The problem is that, first of all, they work from analog to digital, so we needed to get ADC files for them. And secondly, the internet has nothing useful about this. We are on our own for this. And when we finally managed to get some idea using some help from a senior, we found out that we got very strange readings and they were being stored in completely bizarre registers that again we had to find out for ourselves. It took a lot of trial and error for us to figure out joystick, but when it did, it was a big sense of it.
You can't have a game without sprites, and sprites were arguably one of the most difficult parts of getting this whole thing working. We use architecture 35, XC7A35 boards, which have very low VRAMs, about 18,000 kilobytes, which is not a lot at all, especially when you're loading so much image data, which is why we had to skip for the background. Sprites, we had to create parallel files through creating and generating ROMs, and creating wrappers as I explained before in FSM. Creating animations for them was also tough, but we got it done. A lot of last minute rewrites, like we rewrote the whole game 2 days before that animation. However, one major issue that came up here was that while the game was working, entirely 1 day before the evaluation, when we imported another sprite, the Ryu sprite, collisions stopped working. And people would just get stuck to each other, which required another last minute rewrite to get it working.